True healing begins from within. Welcome to the Unsaid podcast. I'm Sneha, and today we have Meetu, a gifted energy healer, sound healing trainer, and spiritual coach. With over 10 years of experience, Meetu has helped thousands heal emotionally and physically using her expertise in over 20 healing modalities. Her mission is to simplify spirituality and bring higher consciousness to all. Let's dive into her incredible journey of transformation. Hi, Meetu. Welcome to the Unsaid podcast.
Hi, Sneha. Nice to meet you, and thank you for having me.
Thank you
It's a
so
pleasure.
much. So, I have introduced you, but we would like to hear a little bit about you. What do you do, and where this spirituality calling came from?
Interesting. So, basically, I do believe that I'm gifted, and it took me many years to come to understand that there was something within me. Since I was a kid, I was always wanting to help people. One thing that was, and I absolutely love people. So my journey over the last 40 some years took me on this path as if it was chosen by the soul already. So what I do currently over the last 10 years, I work full time as a healer in Dubai. I help people heal their emotional pain, trauma from wherever it's coming from. So people are focused mostly on either physical healing or mental healing. But there's a very tiny percentage that actually goes and investigates or even understands what is emotional healing. That's my expertise. And I came to this with my entire journey of pain and suffering and transcending, understanding that these traumas from childhood and also from past life, if you're open to that, were holding me back from shining my light, from being who I was here to be. So when my journey began, which began 13 years ago, as soon as I landed in Dubai, I had no idea what the word healing meant or emotions meant really. But I was always a sensitive child, a very sensitive person. I felt people's pain, I felt people's emotions, but I had no idea that I was feeling other people's pain. So I took it as mine. And when my spiritual awakening happened between 2011 and 2012, after that, I embarked on this journey. So I went to India, I did a yoga teacher training, and something just shifted there, as if something dawned upon me. And I started to Google divine healing. This was 2012, 2013. And that's when I found myself in my first Reiki course. So I became a Reiki healer eventually. And there was no looking back. I was just moving forward, learning. So that's how in a span of maybe 3 years, I did over 20 healing modalities. What was significant for me was it felt second nature to me. Like it didn't even feel as if I was learning something new. It just came through my hands. I could feel sensations, vibrations. So the amount of information, wisdom, knowledge that came through within just those 3 years, 2012 to 2015, and I was doing a full-time job. I was a flight attendant. I've flown for 12 years. So while I was flying, I was doing all of this. I was teaching yoga. So in my previous airline, people still know me. I was a pioneer in starting yoga there. I was talking about fitness, health, lifestyle. But behind the scenes, I was learning about healing, energy healing. So that's how I got onto this path of heal. And I'm certified in over 10, 11 energy healing modalities. Then there's sound. Then there's hypnotherapy-based processes such as QHHT, hypnosis, regressions, all of these processes. So overall, I use all of this. Plus, the most important thing I believe is the intention. So when a person, a client finds me, I believe 2000% that if God has sent this person to me, I can help them. And with that intention, I dive deep. I show them where their blockages are, where exactly is the root. That's the most important thing, because we can heal on a superficial level, on the first layers only. So people feel relief when they do different healing therapies. But unless you have cleared where this trauma happened the first time, it's never going to heal completely.
So, like you rightly said, there's physical healing, right?
Yes.
Through gyms, your fitness activities,
Medicines.
and then you have mental health therapies, which is talking to a expert or doing certain activities.
Mindfulness, meditations.
Exactly. Now
Yeah.
you're coming to the third version of it, which I think not many people know, or maybe
Yeah.
they don't really understand. It's the awareness, right? And
Absolutely.
you just tend to brush it under the carpet, or probably you just don't know what really is happening to you.
Absolutely.
Which is the emotional healing.
Yes.
So when we know what are emotions, right? There are many emotions, but what is the whole logic or the concept of emotional healing? And we also, I also hear a lot of things like, I'm sure everybody has gone through it, PTSD.
Yes.
Yes. Like your trauma disorder, like
Yeah.
you go through certain issues, but then you are stuck with that trauma for
Yes.
God knows how long. So what is emotional healing?
Excellent question. Let's go straight in. So, rightly said, physical is the first layer, which is our body. After that, we have in our auric field, in our energy field, the mental layer. So when people have when people have physical problems, then they have mental issues like calling it stress, anxiety, depression, right? These are considered to be mental illnesses. After that layer is the emotional layer, which people are completely unaware of. So let me simplify this to you, which is what I love to do. Emotions is energy. E-emotion. E-motion is emotion. What exactly is emotion? You don't see it. There's no bucket of emotion like, oh, joy, let's take it. Oh,
Right.
sorrow, let's take it. There isn't. But you feel it. Now, what we have been conditioned, especially some cultures more than others, we have intense emotions. What I tell my clients, you are made of emotions. 90% of you is actually emotions. Only 10% is the mental, the thought process. However, most people do not know. So people do not even know how to feel their emotions. There is no such thing as stress. Have you seen stress? No, right? It's the mental construct. But where is your stress? When I ask people, tell me, where is your stress? Is it in your head? Is it, right?
Yeah.
So I break down stress for people. I go to the root and I ask these kind of fact-finding questions so that it becomes relatable. So here's the thing. Stress is actually only the symptom of what you are going through. So let's say you went through a breakup. Now, if you have gone through a breakup, there are at least 20, depending on the situation, 20 different emotions. You feel sad, you feel upset, you feel grief, you feel loss, you feel shame, guilt, regret, blame, anger, resentment. I've just named 10.
Happy for some.
Maybe happy for some, hopefully. But even there, even if they're happy, there are some other emotions. Most of the times, people feel, in this example, people feel low self-esteem. They feel rejected. They feel betrayed, abandoned. These are all human emotions. Now, I'm sure you've never sat with someone and they said, hey, I feel abandoned, I feel rejected, I feel, right? So what I do is I ask these questions and I say, so what do you really feel? What did they do? What happened? And this way I'm able to line up these emotions and they say, oh yeah, actually I feel let down. Actually I feel dejected. Actually I feel insignificant, right? So when they notice and observe these emotions, now there is awareness.
So how can I differentiate? Like you said, where is stress, right?
So your stress is an accumulation of all of these emotions in the moment. So emotion is energy in motion.
Okay.
The law of energy states energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. And that's where energy healing comes into place. So let's say somebody is feeling this intense emotion of sadness. Emotions, by the way, are felt in the body. Thoughts is in the mind, 10%. 90%. You see, that all our vital organs are in the body. Why? Sadness. You don't feel sad here. You feel
Yeah.
sad here.
Right.
Heart. Sadness is the emotion of the heart. Loss, grief, jealousy, resentment. These are the emotions of the heart. So let's take an example of a person who's experiencing this from a partner. A husband who has been betraying this lady for 20 years. This is a real life scenario for me. I get clients like that every day. 20 years. What does she get diagnosed with? Breast cancer. What happened?
Okay.
When somebody comes to me and says, I have been diagnosed with breast cancer, straight away I say, what are you sad about? And they would look at me and I'm like, so then I start to dissect and show them. There are layers and layers of pain that this lady has accumulated. It's a wave.
And that impacts her physical health as well.
It sits here because chakras come into play. So chakras are energy centers that take the energy from outside, and its job is to move the energy and release it from the body. So when you feel sad, intense sadness, what happens? You contract.
Right.
So the person contracts in their body. Energy flow, which is supposed to be the wave stops. So now this sadness is sitting here on the chest. I'm sure you felt, even with remote little sadness, you feel this heaviness in
Right,
your heart.
absolutely.
All of us have, right? What has happened? The sadness that you felt has now contracted your body. You're not like, oh, I'm sad. No, you're sad like sad, right? So now energy is not moving. Now that happens in one moment. Now imagine 20 years of continuing to feel that emotion. That emotion takes place in the body because the energy, the emotional body is now full. It takes space in the body, becomes a tumor or a cancer or autoimmune disease. And I have several clients, I have helped them heal fully with diagnosis, with clarity from their doctors, because we went and healed the root cause. And this is becoming more and more popular. You can see it in Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, and many healers around the globe are doing this now because we have discovered that this information was hidden from us. And most people are actually scared of their own emotions.
So basically, emotions impact your mental health, impacts your physical health. So it's all like a
Absolutely. So
circle.
we don't start at the physical. I don't touch the person. I start from the emotional body. And that's where the root cause is. I personally believe, in my 10 years of working with thousands of people and healing my issues, and I have a sister who has healed from autoimmune disease. In the last 4 years, she's cleared from her doctors, MS, multiple sclerosis. So what I discovered and learned and researched in all of this is that the root cause, whether it's a cancer, autoimmune, tumor, whatever, there is a deep root cause which is in your emotion. And when you start to transform that emotion, all your mental issues disappear and your physical body starts to heal, because that emotion, which is supposed to be a wave, its natural nature is to move, has stopped. So what do we do with energy healing? I bring in high vibrational energy. It's like stagnant water. You want to move it with water. So I bring this water with the energy with high speed, and we move that stagnated energy. It's really simple, and it's science. I'm not talking pseudoscience, I'm not talking woo-woo, and it's high time that we as humanity, we as people understand this, because believe me, Sneha, I wouldn't have been this person if I did not heal my past. I had a life of so much pain, trauma, sufferings, challenges that I can't even begin to finish if I tell you my whole story in 2 days. And that is my inspiration, that is my motivation, because not only did I feel my pain, but I see a person, I feel their pain.
Right.
So I was an outright extrovert my whole life. And as I became a healer and as my gifts multiplied over the last 10 years, from what I did 5 years ago to now, my gifts have multiplied. Like what I can do within 2 hours, now I can do it in 15 minutes.
So I think there's lot many things to actually dig deeper into this whole energy concept, and we would definitely love to have you in another episode where we actually get into each and every aspect of energy deeper and deeper, and probably that will help a lot of people who are listening to us. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, and it was great having a chat with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure. God bless you.